Welcome to the Fast Fix channel. My name is Jason, and today we are replacing an old worn-out dishwasher with a brand new Bosch 500 series dishwasher that we've been waiting 9 months to get. We're very excited to get this thing in, and I wanted to do a video on that procedure. Before we do anything, we need to kill power. So if you have a switch underneath your sink, make sure you turn that off, and we're also going to turn power off at the breaker as well. Now that the electrical is turned off, we can go back under the sink and start disconnecting some things. First of all, we need to remove our water supply line that runs to the dishwasher and also our waste line that runs to the garbage disposal. Now, I want to point out something that I've just discovered is that this is connected to the cold side of the faucet. Our new dishwasher calls for it to be connected to the hot side. I believe the hot side is pretty standard, and it makes me think that this was installed in error, which could have been some of the reasons why we were getting poor performance on our current dishwasher. Let's disconnect our supply line first. So what we're going to need to do is shut these valves. Now just take an adjustable wrench, and we'll turn the nut to the left. Now we will remove our waste line by simply pinching this with pliers, taking that down, disconnecting. Take this opportunity to clean out the inlet tube right here. It's nasty though. Now that we've got everything disconnected, we can physically remove our dishwasher from its spot. So we'll look up underneath the cupboard here. There should be some mounting tabs. Just remove those. Now we can pull the dishwasher out. I'm using a towel to put underneath the feet of the dishwasher so it won't scratch the floors. As you can see here, we've got a waistline connection. We can easily disconnect this, make our lives a little bit easier. A word of caution on the waistline here. The water in here, guys, is gonna stink really bad. I went ahead and covered it with a sandwich bag because it's that awful. Some actually spilled back there, which is currently being absorbed by that towel. I even got a little bit on my clothes and changed as a result. It does smell that bad, so be aware of that. Now that we got the waistline removed, we still have the electrical and the water supply line connected, so we need to disconnect those. So we're actually gonna take the dishwasher and turn it onto its face here. This is another good reason to have towels down. There's likely residual water in your dishwasher that could spill out, so just be aware of that. Let's remove the electrical now. I'm just going to cut this wire with some snips. Now we're at our water supply line. We'll just get our adjustable wrench, loosen, and remove. So if you are wanting to maintain your copper line, you're going to need this fitting, but I'm going to ditch the copper and go with something more flexible, so we don't need that. Okay, next we're going to do a little bit of prep in order to get our dishwasher in. Remember from my comments earlier, these are on the incorrect sides, so we need to change these around. If you don't need to do this, I'll put a timestamp right here and just go ahead and skip to that. For right now, we'll take our adjustable wrench and start twisting these off. I'm going to show you quickly how to remove your water stop supply valve here. You do want to shut off your main water line, or if you have another valve farther down the line, you can shut that off, but you need to make sure your water is off or you will get sprayed. Also make sure that you're draining your water from your sink before you undo the braided lines here. If you don't, you'll get water everywhere as well. So what we're going to do is use a rather large pair of adjustable pliers, as well as a smaller pair. We'll grab the nut on the back. Use our large one here and just turn to the left. And these are on actually pretty tight. This one was loose, but typically they are on fairly tight, so might have to wrench at it a little bit, but there you go. It's a good idea to turn your main water back on and then inspect for leaks. Looks like we're good. Now it's time to route the water supply line for the dishwasher. I went with this steel braided line. This should suit our purposes just fine. It's also got the required elbow that we need to install on the bottom of our dishwasher in order to make this work. So let's get this routed. It's a good idea to run the water through your line before you hook it to your dishwasher, just to make sure there's no debris in there. Now, some of these instructions are going to be particular to Bosch, but it comes with this plastic barrier that we're going to place underneath the countertop, snugging up right up to the edge here. If your dishwasher doesn't have this, don't sweat it. It's probably just a Bosch thing. Now that we've got the supply line completed, we can move on to the electrical side. And it looks like we're going to have to utilize this corded connection, as our Bosch 500 series comes with this cord and not provisions for a hardwired connection as the old dishwasher was. Now, you can get a junction box for the Bosch, but you'd have to wait and order that ahead of time, which I did not do and did not realize. So we are going to create a outlet for this so we can utilize the cord. So what we're going to do is install the outlet right here. Code says that it needs to be accessible, and there's lots of debates on this, but we're going to put it in an adjacent enclosure as opposed to right behind the dishwasher, just kind of playing it safe there. Also going to use a GFI outlet, which also is debatable and not necessarily necessary, but we're going to use that anyway just to play it safe. I apologize, everyone. I did not hit the record button when I installed this opening here, but essentially what I'm doing is just taking a 1-inch kind of auger bit here, or hole saw, whatever you want to call it, and just putting 2 holes, one in the upper left and then one in the lower right. And then all we're doing is taking a drywall saw and just cutting out this rectangle. That's it. And now that our opening is done, we need to take our wire here and fish it through our new opening. Should have plenty of rooms to get your hands in there. Just grab the wire, pull it out. Because we're not nailing this junction box to a stud, we need these flaps in order to mount this securely. So when you're going for your junction box, if you need to do this and you're not mounting it to a stud, go ahead and get this flap kind, and it'll put pressure as you turn the screws. One note on GFI outlets here. These are wired differently than typical outlets, so make sure you're reading your instruction manual. In my case, I've got 1 wire with 3 wires inside of it. So we just need to go on the back here, and we can see our white wire goes on this side, and our hot wire, which is black, goes on this side, and then we've also got a ground underneath. So that's the setup for this particular one. But again, make sure you're reading the instructions here, and if you don't feel comfortable installing electrical, call someone to do it. As you can see here, I left my ground wire a little bit longer than these two. The reason for that is our ground wire terminates kind of closer towards the end, so we actually need a little bit more wire to reach our ground screw here, whereas our white and black wires terminate a little bit closer. It's always a good idea to test these connections, especially if you got a GFI connection that you could have miswired. So we just plugged in an old iPhone here, and we're going to hit the reset button, and hopefully it works. There we go. Power. Now comes arguably the hardest part, which is getting the wire pushed back and this thing actually screwed in. We'll see how easily or difficult we can make this on ourselves. Then once you get your cover plate on, you can enjoy the splendor of your new outlet. Ain't it pretty? This is the finished product, and actually I'm kind of glad we did this, although it took me a couple extra hours to get this done. But now we'll have a nice wired connection, and we can plug and unplug our dishwasher if we need to do that. So that's kind of nice. All right, we're on the water side of things again, and we're on the reverse side of the dishwasher. We need to put on our water supply elbow. So this is just going over this fitting right here. It's just a compression fit, so we don't need to make this very tight. And also make sure you avoid cross-threading because that could damage it. You definitely don't want that happening. We're also going to have the water supply line pointed toward our water supply hose. So we're going to keep it angling this direction. At this point, we can test for leaks, so we're going to turn our water supply end on and check both ends here and make sure they're not leaking. So we got this one, that looks good, but we're going to let it sit for a minute. But also, let's check right here. This looks good too, but let's just let it sit for a couple minutes. If we see any drips of water, we'll know we need to make things tighter, but as of right now, things are looking good. The next thing we need to do is secure our mounting tab. So this is going to be different per dishwasher, but on the Bosch, we've got this mounting bracket right here. It slips into this slit. Then we'll just take our needle nose pliers and bend this down. Just like that. Now it can't be removed. You're going to want to put some sort of slider underneath your dishwasher in order to not scratch your wood floor. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3 under this, and then we'll be able to slide it in position. Once you've got your sliding pads on and the dishwasher's on the floor, you can hook up power as we've done over there, and make sure you run your waste tube through your openings here as well. And as we put the dishwasher into its space, we will also be pulling on the end of this hose so as to not kink it as we're installing. This is a good time to level your machine. Ours is good, so we don't need to make any adjustments. Follow your manufacturer's guideline in order to make those on yours. We are also good on the amount of space we need between the top of the dishwasher and the bottom of the countertop. Once you have your dishwasher all leveled and where it needs to be, you can go ahead and put your screws in to make sure it's secured to your countertop. In the interest of saving time, I didn't film the installation of the waste hose, but it's self-explanatory. Just hook it back up to your garbage disposal or to this pipe right here if you didn't have a disposal. You're also going to make sure that your waste pipe does not interfere or connect with any of your water lines, because those are braided metal and they might cause wear in this waste line, which is, again, a stinky mess. So you don't want to do that. This Bosch unit came with this handy mounting plate, and we got our hose up nice. We got a nice air gap, which is required by code, and everything looks good. So if you've made it this far, you've made it the whole way. Congratulate yourself. Job well done. And that's it, everyone. The new dishwasher is in. It really wasn't too bad. It's not something you need to necessarily pay somebody to do if you're up for doing it yourself. Just follow along the instructions included in your machine. You should be all set. So hey, if this video helped you, please help me and hit like and subscribe. It makes all the difference in the world. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day.